Okay, so yesterday you should have watched a video over measures of spread. This is getting into our data analysis of graphs. So you were given a set of information just like this one, and it says determine the range, median, first and third quartiles, and interquartile range for each data set. It says determine if there are any outliers. So we learned that our range is greatest number minus least number. Okay, so if you're looking at the number of boxes of popcorn sold, we can see that 96 is the greatest, and that 75 is the next greatest. Let's look for the smallest now. So the smallest is 21. Okay, so to find our range, we would take 96 and subtract 21 from it. 6 minus 1 is 5, and 9 minus 2 is 7. So our answer is 75 for number 1. Then we have what we have already reviewed is our median. So remember, median means middle number. So to find the middle number, we are going to have to order the numbers from least to greatest. Okay, so remember we need to count how many numbers we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That way we make sure we have 7 in our order. So smallest is 21, followed by 52. Followed by 58. Oh, nope, I lied. This is why. Followed by 40. 52. 58. 72. 75. And then 96. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, that's what we need. So then you remember we mark out the number from the front to back, front to back, front to back. So 21, here we'll do a different color. 21 from the front, 96 from the back, 40 from the front, 75 from the back, 52 from the front, and 72 from the back. And that leaves 58. So then that makes 58 your median. That is your middle number. Okay. Okay, so now we are looking at our Q1. Okay, so from our notes yesterday, we learned that Q1 is the middle number of the lower section. Okay, so look over here. Your median is in the middle. So this is lower section, and this is upper section. Okay, so now we have to find the middle number of the lower section. So that's these numbers right here. So then I like to cross over the other way to make an X. So we would go front to back again until we get a middle number. I'm going to circle this. And this middle number is your Q1. So that's the middle of your lower section. So 40 is our Q1. And then 42, not 42, why did I say 42? Q3 is finding the middle of your upper section. So everything above the median is what you would use to find your Q3. So then we would go front to back, and that's your middle number for your Q3. So 75 is your Q3. Okay, so then let's focus on IQR. So IQR is your Q3 minus your Q1. So Q3 was 75 and Q1 was 40. So 5 minus 0 is 5 and 7 minus 4 is 3, giving us 35 for our IQR. Okay. So this is the part that's confusing because it doesn't really have a name. So we found all this information and now we have to take the IQR and multiply it by 1.5. And this is going to give us our limits for the upper and lower limits to find outliers. So we're going to take IQR, which happened to be 35, and we need to multiply it by 1.5. So we have one number to the right of the decimal. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17. Then we have a 0. 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, so 5 plus 0 is 5, 7 plus 5 is 12, 3 plus 1 is 5. So bring that in. So we have 52.5. So we're going to take that number and we're going to find what's called a lower limit. Lower limit is that number, it's the bottom number that could exist in this set of data that is not an outlier. And so to find our lower limit, we're going to take Q1 and we're going to subtract 52.5. Okay, so our Q1 was 40. So 40 minus 52, let's see. 40 minus 52.5. Okay, so we see that this is a bigger number, which means we're going to get in the negatives. So when we subtract, we put the bigger number on top, smaller number on bottom. That's 0.5, that's 2, that's 1. And then which one has the greater absolute value? Does negative 52 have the greater absolute value or 40? Negative 52 wins, so this is a negative. So your lower limit, LL, is negative 12.5. Okay, so then you're supposed to look at your data right here. Is there a number smaller than negative 12.5? Well, no, because we're not even at 0. So there's no outlier on the lower end of our data. So now we're going to find out if there's an outlier on the greater end of our data by finding the upper limit. Okay, so upper limit, we'll be using Q3, but instead of subtracting, we're going to add 52.5. Okay, so Q3, if we look back at our answer choices, was 75. So 75 plus 52.5. We could probably already tell that there's not. But 0.5, and then 5 plus 2 is 7. And then 5 plus 7 is 12. And so our upper limit is 127.5. So we're going to look here at our greatest values and say, is there a number that's greater than 127.5? And the answer is no. Therefore, there are no outliers on this problem. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. So ages of grandmothers. So it wants you to find the range and the median. So remember, your range is your greatest number minus your least number, and your median is your middle number. Go ahead and press pause. Look at numbers 1 and 2 that we just did. Press play when you have both these answers.